Hello, everyone. My name is Javiani Giustiniano, and I'm a student at Chattahoochee Tech. Today's date is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and this presentation is for ECCE 2380, Inclusive Classroom Strategies, course number 20922. My topic today is People's First Language, an essential approach to communication that promotes dignity, respect, and inclusion for individuals with disabilities. For my research, I used three credible sources: Disability is Natural, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and Georgetown University's Early Childhood Intervention blog. Together, these resources help me understand how language shapes the way we think and treat others. People's First Language, or PFL, is a respectful way of speaking that puts the person before their disability or condition. Instead of saying an autistic child, People's First Language encourages us to say a child with autism. According to the CDC, this type of language emphasizes the person instead of the disability. The website Disability is Natural adds that using People's First Language and removing old hurtful terms can change the way we see a person, and it could even change a way the person sees themselves. In simple terms, this approach reminds us that a person is not defined by their diagnosis or limitation. They are a unique individual first. The movement towards People's First Language began during the broader disability rights efforts in the late 20th century. Advocates recognized that the words we use create attitudes and shape public policies. As explained by Disability is Natural, words and their meanings create attitudes, drive social policies and laws. When society shifted from using labels to person-centered phrases, it marked a change in how we viewed people with disabilities, from pity or separation to inclusion and equality. The CDC also highlights that 1 in 4 adults in the United States has some form of disability, making it even more important to use language that reflects respect, not bias. There are several reasons why using People's First Language matters. 1. Respect and dignity. It recognizes the humanity of the individual. Saying a person with a disability places the person before the label. 2. Reducing stigma and bias. The CDC notes that language has power. Using respectful terms promotes inclusion and challenges stereotypes. 3. Changing attitudes. Disability is Natural explains that our words influence how others are perceived and treated. When we speak respectfully, we encourage others to do the same. 4. Professional communication. In schools, healthcare, and social work, using People's First Language shows awareness, compassion, and professionalism. Ultimately, People's First Language is not just about grammar. It's about empathy and equality. Here are a few examples of how People's First Language looks in practice. Instead of the handicapped parking spot, we say accessible parking space. Instead of a disabled student, we say a student with a disability. Instead of an epileptic, we say a person with epilepsy. And instead of wheelchair bound, we say a person who uses a wheelchair. The CDC encourages asking people how they prefer to be described, since individual preferences may vary. The Georgetown University blog also emphasizes this point when discussing parents with intellectual or developmental disabilities. It shows how stigma often affects how others view parenting skills, and how respectful first-person communication helps reduce bias and support families more fairly. So, using this language every day, at school, work, or in the community, it helps everyone feel valued and included. To conclude, People's First Language is more than a communication tool. It's a mindset rooted in respect. It encourages us to see the person before the label, to focus on ability instead of disability, and to create a culture of inclusion. By using People's First Language, we remind ourselves and others that every person deserves to be recognized for who they are, not what they have. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope this encourages you to use People's First Language in your daily conversations and professional settings.